to be talking about a building in Port Moresby, an old building actually, but the first of its kind in the Pacific. But before, let me introduce myself and my organization. So I am indeed the IFC resident representative here in Port Moresby for the International Finance Corporation, which is the private sector arm of the World Bank Group and the largest development financial institution focused on the private sector in emerging markets. We are working in more than 100 countries, mostly in terms of investments, but we also provide advisory services, and I'm going to be talking a bit more about them today. The work that we undertake here in Papua New Guinea is supported by the governments of Australia and New Zealand, and I would like to acknowledge them herewith. Let me talk to you about some of our work in climate. And I will not tell you everything that we do in that space, but we all know that climate is a pressing issue for the Pacific. Although the region contributes minimally to global carbon emissions, it finds itself in the front line of the climate crisis, especially in some of the outer-lying islands in the region. How are we helping? So we're helping in many different ways, but one of our focus areas is green buildings. And in fact, we just published a report on sustainable construction in emerging markets, which is available freely online, and I'll show you the online link towards the end of the presentation. Why do green building standards actually matter? Well, they can make a big difference to the planet, to helping with combating climate change. Buildings, on average, generate about 20% of the world's energy-related greenhouse gases and consume about 40% of the world's electricity. So they matter in many different ways. By 2050, the built environment is expected to double due to population growth and urbanization. Most of that will come in emerging markets, such as PNG, which is why programs like EDGE, which were developed by the International Finance Corporation, are important. So EDGE, and I will also give you the link to their website, stands for Excellence in Design for Greater Efficiencies. It provides technical solutions for adapting construction projects to green building standards while generating positive environmental and financial outcomes. So there's a whole list of, technical details, but I guess the one element to remember is that a project meets the EDGE standard if it demonstrates at least 20% efficiency gains compared to a baseline in 3 categories: energy, water, and materials. So a famous architect, Carl Elefante, I'm not sure we all know him, but did say that the greenest building is one that is already built. And I'm going to be talking to you today about Burns House, which is close by, less than a kilometer on the other side of town, which is now known as at 345, and is the headquarters of steamships and the various entities that come under steamships. At 345, or at 345, is the very first EDGE green building certified in the entire South Pacific. What is truly noteworthy about this building isn't solely its first in the region status, but rather the substantial transformation it underwent in 2022 to attain this level of recognition. I believe the building was built sometime in the 1950s. The old building was retrofitted by steamships with the assistance of IFC by using high-performance glass, insulated roofing, and more efficient cooling and lighting systems that have delivered energy savings of about 40%. The building was also retrofitted with water-efficient faucets, water closets, and so forth, and that has reduced water consumption by 35%. And combined with embodied energy savings of about 70% due to the materials used in the renovation, the greening of the building is equivalent to preventing 60 tons of carbon dioxide per annum from being released in the atmosphere. So these renovations weren't merely cosmetic. They set a standard for modern, efficient, and green buildings in Papua New Guinea. They not only directly address climate change, but also set a benchmark for green design practices that others in the region and in the country can follow. So this is the building. Some of you will ask whether the black color of the building will offset some of the efficiency designs, and this is something that we're talking to steamships. Ladies and gentlemen, to date, EDGE has certified 65 million square meters of floor space globally in countries in the Asia-Pacific region, in Latin America and Africa and elsewhere, thereby contributing significantly to energy savings and reduced carbon emissions. I would like to emphasize a critical role that the private sector plays in addressing climate change by incorporating energy efficiency and climate resilience into investments and operations. The 345 building exemplifies how private companies like steamships can innovate and contribute to a greener future, and hopefully others will follow suit. I thank you very much for your time, and as mentioned early on, these are the various links. The first one is for the EDGE system, the second one is the report which is freely available, and the third one is essentially the press release that was issued for the at 345 building, and below my details.